I'm Calder Moore.
And I'm Lizzie Moore.
From Polly's Fine Jewelry.
Can you believe tomorrow is Valentine's Day?
Guys, if you're scrambling, we've got you covered.
Jewelry always fits.
Classic lab-grown diamond studs are special priced.
1 carat studs are only $7.95, 1.5 carats are $9.95, and 2 carats are $12.95.
Diamond necklaces are $3.95.
So many incredible options, and time is ticking.
Come see us at Polly's Fine Jewelry
In Mount Pleasant, North Charleston, Somerville,
and pollysjewelry.com.
Welcome to Astronomy Daily. I'm Anna. Today we have an absolutely packed show with some fascinating stories from across the cosmos. We'll be diving into new research about another potential asteroid impact that could cause an impact winter on Earth, explore major changes happening at Russia's space agency, and get you ready for an upcoming total lunar eclipse that you won't want to miss. We'll also check in with NASA's Perseverance rover on Mars, where it's just made an extraordinary discovery, and learn about a breakthrough in solar science that's finally solved a long-standing mystery about our sun. Plus, we'll wrap up with a fun look back at one of space exploration's most enduring mysteries, the case of the moon golf balls. Stay with me as we explore these stories and more right here on Astronomy Daily. A new study has sent ripples through the scientific community with its detailed analysis of what might happen if the asteroid Bennu were to collide with Earth in the year 2182. Now, before anyone starts panicking, it's important to note that the chances of this impact are quite small, about 1 in 2,700. But the research gives us fascinating insights into how such an impact could affect our planet. Bennu isn't exactly a giant as far as asteroids go. It's about 0.3 of a mile across, or around 500 meters. But don't let its relatively modest size fool you. The computer simulations show that if this rocky visitor were to strike Earth, the consequences would be far-reaching and long-lasting. The immediate impact would create quite a show. We're talking powerful shock waves, earthquakes, wildfires, and thermal radiation. But it's what happens next that's particularly interesting. The collision would throw an enormous amount of dust into our atmosphere, somewhere between 100 and 400 million tons. This cosmic dust cloud would hang around for 3 to 4 years, dramatically altering our climate and ecosystems. The researchers found that Earth's average surface temperature could drop by about 7 degrees Fahrenheit or 4 degrees Celsius. Rainfall would decrease by roughly 15%, and plant photosynthesis could drop by up to 30%. Perhaps most concerning is that our protective ozone layer could be depleted by 32%, leaving us more exposed to harmful ultraviolet radiation. Interestingly, while land-based plant life would struggle to recover for about 2 years, ocean plankton would bounce back within just 6 months. In fact, the iron-rich dust falling into the oceans might even trigger unprecedented blooms of diatoms, a type of algae. The good news is that NASA isn't taking any chances with potential asteroid threats. They've already successfully tested a planetary defense system with the DART mission in 2022, which showed we can actually change an asteroid's trajectory if needed. It's exactly this kind of preparation and forward thinking that could help protect us from future cosmic threats. Next up, let's go to today's news headlines. The landscape of Russia's space program is experiencing a significant shakeup as the Kremlin has dismissed Yuri Borisov from his position as head of Roscosmos after less than 3 years in the role. This change comes in the wake of Russia's first attempted moon mission in nearly half a century, which unfortunately ended in failure when the Luna 25 spacecraft crashed into the lunar surface last August. Taking the helm at Roscosmos is Dmitri Bakhanov, who comes from his previous position as Deputy Transport Minister. While the Kremlin maintains this is simply a routine rotation to keep the corporation developing dynamically, the timing is particularly noteworthy, given Russia's ambitious plans for the future of their space program. Despite the recent setback with Luna 25, Russia has been laying out bold plans for the coming years. They're preparing to launch their own orbital space station to replace their involvement with the International Space Station. The timeline for this new station is aggressive, with the first 2 modules scheduled for launch in 2027. This transition comes at a crucial moment for Russia's space endeavors. The country has historically been a pioneer in space exploration, from Yuri Gagarin's historic first human spaceflight in 1961 to their long-standing collaboration on the ISS. However, the geopolitical landscape has shifted dramatically, particularly following the Ukraine conflict, though Russia has maintained its space cooperation with the United States even as other relationships have become strained. The new station project represents more than just a replacement for the aging ISS. It's intended to be a platform for scientific, economic, and security-related projects that Russia believes aren't possible within their current ISS segment. As we look toward this new chapter in Russian space exploration, the pressure will be on Bakhanov to deliver on these ambitious goals while maintaining Russia's position as a major player in space exploration. Mark your calendars, space enthusiasts, because we're in for a spectacular celestial show on March 13th and 14th, 2025. A total lunar eclipse will grace our skies, turning our moon a stunning red-orange color as it passes through Earth's shadow. During this mesmerizing event, the sun, Earth, and moon will align perfectly, with our planet casting its shadow onto the lunar surface. The entire moon will travel through Earth's umbra, that's the darkest part of our planet's shadow, creating what many people call a blood moon due to its distinctive crimson hue. Now, you might wonder why the moon appears red during an eclipse rather than simply going dark. It's actually the same phenomenon that gives us our blue skies and red sunsets. As sunlight passes through Earth's atmosphere, blue light scatters away while red light travels more directly through the air. During the eclipse, sunlight gets filtered through a thick slice of Earth's atmosphere before reaching the moon, essentially projecting all of Earth's sunrises and sunsets onto the lunar surface at once. The best part about lunar eclipses is that you don't need any special equipment to enjoy them. While binoculars or a telescope can enhance your view, the spectacle is perfectly visible to the naked eye. Just find yourself a spot away from bright lights for the best viewing experience. For those planning to catch this celestial event, there's even more to see in the sky that night. Look toward the western horizon, and you'll spot Jupiter and Mars. As the moon's brightness dims during the eclipse, you'll have an exceptional opportunity to observe constellations that might otherwise be harder to spot. The moon will begin its journey in the constellation Leo, right under the lion's hind paw, before crossing into Virgo. This eclipse will be visible from Earth's western hemisphere, making it a prime viewing opportunity for many of our listeners. Remember, these cosmic ballets don't happen every day, so don't miss this chance to witness one of nature's most impressive shows. Now, exciting news from the Red Planet, where NASA's Perseverance rover has just collected what scientists are calling a one-of-a-kind treasure from an area known as Silver Mountain. This 1.1-inch rock sample might not look like much at first glance, but it could provide unprecedented insights into Mars's ancient history. What makes this sample so special is its location and composition. The rocks in this area are believed to have been thrust up to the surface from deep within Mars after an ancient impact billions of years ago. Scientists think these rocks could be pieces of Mars' early crust and might even rank among the oldest rocks found anywhere in our solar system. This is the first sample Perseverance has collected from what geologists call the Noachian Age, a period roughly 4 billion years ago when Mars was regularly bombarded by asteroids and comets. These impacts created many of the crater features we still see on the Red Planet today. The sample's unique textures, unlike anything the rover has encountered before, have scientists particularly intrigued. Since its landing in 2021 near Jezero crater, Perseverance has been methodically exploring and sampling the Martian landscape. The rover has already made several significant discoveries, including rocks showing chemical evidence of past water interaction, a crucial finding since water is essential for life as we know it. While the scientific community is eager to get their hands on this extraordinary sample, there's still uncertainty about when these Martian rocks will make their way back to Earth. NASA is currently reworking its Mars sample return program after cost projections rose significantly. The agency is now evaluating new proposals from industry and academia, with a decision on the path forward expected in 2026. Meanwhile, China has announced plans for its own Mars sample return mission, aiming to launch in 2028, with samples potentially returning to Earth by 2031. This adds an interesting element of competition to the race for bringing back the first pieces of the Red Planet. In a groundbreaking discovery, scientists have finally solved one of the sun's most persistent mysteries using the Solar Orbiter spacecraft. The question of what drives the solar wind, that constant stream of charged particles flowing from our star, has puzzled researchers for decades. Now we have our answer, and it comes in the form of tiny, hair-like jets erupting from dark patches in the sun's atmosphere. These fleeting bursts of energy, captured in unprecedented detail by solar orbiters' advanced instruments, last for about a minute each and launch charged particles into space at mind-boggling speeds of around 224,000 miles per hour. What's particularly fascinating is that these jets appear to be responsible for both types of solar wind, the fast and slow varieties, something scientists didn't expect to find. The discovery came during solar orbiters' close approaches to the sun in late 2022 and early 2023. By combining high-resolution images with direct measurements of solar wind particles and magnetic fields, researchers could, for the first time, directly connect these tiny jets to the solar wind detected by their instruments. These jets appear in special regions called coronal holes, dark patches in the sun's atmosphere where the magnetic field stretches out into space instead of looping back to the surface. While scientists knew that fast solar wind came from these coronal holes, the revelation that slow solar wind also originates from the same source came as a complete surprise. This breakthrough has significant implications for our understanding of space weather and its effects on Earth. The solar wind shapes our planet's magnetic environment and can impact everything from satellite operations to power grids. By better understanding its origins, we might improve our ability to predict and prepare for solar storms and other space weather events. The discovery was only possible thanks to solar orbiters' unique combination of imaging systems and particle detection instruments, showcasing how modern technology is helping us unravel the sun's deepest secrets. Scientists plan to gather more data during future close approaches to better understand exactly how these tiny jets manage to launch the solar wind into space. To wrap up today, here's a lighthearted but fascinating story from the Apollo era that still puzzles space historians today. When Alan Shepard became the first and so far only person to play golf on the moon during the Apollo 14 mission in 1971, he deliberately kept one detail secret: the brand of golf balls he used for his famous lunar shots. Shepard had gotten special permission from NASA for this unique lunar activity, but with one important condition: it couldn't be used for commercial purposes. To prevent any company from capitalizing on this historic moment, Shepard never revealed which brand of balls made it to the moon, famously stating that he hadn't even told his wife. Over the years, several competing claims have emerged about these lunar golf balls. One story comes from Shepard's barber, Carlos Villagomez, who received a signed Max Fly ball from the astronaut shortly after the mission. Then there's Jack Harden, the golf pro who helped Shepard modify the famous 6-iron club, who claimed they were customized Spalding range balls. Even the Daisy Company has staked a claim, pointing to a signed crew photo thanking them for their golf balls. Adding to the intrigue, Shepard himself mentioned that he personally paid for the 2 golf balls, seemingly contradicting these gift-based origin stories. While we might hope to solve this mystery by examining the balls on the moon, they've likely been damaged beyond recognition by decades of extreme temperature swings and radiation exposure. Despite the uncertainty around the brand, what we do know is that Shepard's lunar golf shots didn't quite live up to his excited claim of the balls traveling miles and miles and miles in the moon's low gravity. Later analysis of lunar photographs showed his best shot traveled about 40 yards, still impressive considering he was wearing a bulky spacesuit and could only swing one-handed. Well, that brings us to the end of today's fascinating journey through space and astronomy news. This is Anna, and I've truly enjoyed sharing these incredible stories with you. If you're hungry for more space news and want to stay up to date with the latest developments, I've got some great ways for you to do just that. Head over to astronomydaily.io, where you'll find our constantly updating newsfeed covering all the latest space and astronomy developments. While you're there, you can also catch up on all our previous episodes if you've missed any of our earlier coverage. We're also very active on social media. You can find us by searching for Astro Daily Pod on Facebook, X, YouTube, YouTube Music, and TikTok. It's a great way to stay connected and join the conversation about these amazing space discoveries. And if you're enjoying the show, which I hope you are, make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. This way, you'll never miss an episode as we continue to explore the wonders of space together. Thanks for listening to Astronomy Daily. I'm Anna, reminding you to keep looking up, and I'll see you next time as we continue our journey through the cosmos.